Good morning, Threadheads. Jason Spangler, the Santee Swapper. Got a quick video for you this morning. Wanted to unbox a collection that I just picked up at my local UPS store yesterday. And this is a collection I'm very excited about. A gentleman reached out to me and said, hey, you look like a guy that might be interested in this stuff. Took pictures of it, sent it to me. And literally he offered to send it to me just for the price of shipping. I was so blown away by his generosity. And especially when I saw the pictures, because these are some things that I really collect. And so this guy lived in a small town in Texas. And for a little brief period of time in this small town, there existed an Air Explorer Squadron, which, as some of you might know, is a program the BSA ran. It succeeded what used to be called Air Scouts. And then around 1958, when Explorers kind of took over all of those high school age programs, it became Air Explorers. And so he was a part of an Air Explorer Squadron in a small town in Texas. And he said it didn't last very long. I don't think they had a whole lot of support from adults and things like that. It's kind of hard to keep these things going. But about maybe a decade ago, when I started collecting senior scouting memorabilia, those programs that were meant for older scouts, I was really drawn to Air Scouts and Air Explorers because I grew up on an Air Force base. In fact, my first job was working at the base commissary where I used to bag groceries. And so my troop that I got my Eagle in was sponsored by one of the units there on the base. And so all of our dads were in the Air Force. And so was just always around, the base and fighter planes and all that stuff, to have the shows and stuff. So, I got it. I really did about the idea that scouts would be intrigued about aviation, and especially coming out of World War II. I think that was something the Air Scouts were tapping into, the fascination during that time period. But me growing up in the 80s, I definitely was still into it. Never pursued a career in aviation, never signed up for the military, but I always was kind of interested in it. So I wanted to open this box and just kind of show you guys this stuff because it is super cool. It's old, right? So this came from a little town. His address is Shallow Water, Texas. I don't know what part of Texas that is in, and I don't know for sure that's the town that he grew up in, where this Air Scout Squadron, Air Explorer Squadron would have been. But that does sound like a small town, a place called Shallow Water. All right, so cut this open. So kind of give you the look here. Not everything in here is going to be super exciting for a threadhead. For example, a military canteen. Is there water in there? I don't think so. It is pretty heavy. This, of course, is your classic BSA mess kit. Got to have one of those. And if you're going to have a mess kit, you got to have your knife, fork, and spoon set. Those actually can be used. I still find scouts that like to use those. Then this guy here, this is the Grooming Kit. So there's I guess I'll open this up just for the kick of it. This one looks to be fairly loaded. So this is your toiletry bag. And so the official BSA one, open it up. Lord, this thing is like, he really did not change anything. So let me show you this to you guys. I mean, there's literally the razor, the brush. That is a coarse looking brush. There is the Boy Scout toothbrush and soap dish. And then this guy right here is a bar of soap. That could be from 1960. It's like pretty ancient stuff. But if you look in the box, you can start to see back here what I was excited about. There's a note from him. Pull this to the side. So explorers would have worn these white leggings. I think these are called ankle leggings. I'm not sure what the official word is. And they were sort of a way to make your uniform look really fancy, to tuck in the cuff of your pants. Of course, the belt here. And then an Ordeal Sash. And here is the real prize. And the pants. Honestly, I didn't even know I was getting the pants. But let me pull a few more things out, guys, because this box is a little heavy, and that way I can show you this stuff a little bit better. Okay. All right. So kind of go in reverse order here. So we have his haversack, All right, and the name of the town that he grew up in was Wildorado, Texas. Also sounds like a very small town in Texas. Wildorado, Texas. And there's his haversack. That's his backpack. And then he has another haversack here. That's him. And then a couple of handbooks. So you can see this handbook from this era. Let's just take a peek. This should be 1950s. I don't have these memorized like I probably should. Yep, October 1957 on that guy. And then he has his Order of the Arrow handbook from that time period. We saw the Ordeal Sash. This is copyright 1950. See what that is. A couple of these guys here. I'll save that. Neckerchief, you know, I think I've told some of you all this, that this style of neckerchief is the neckerchief that is going to be in the upcoming movie, The Fabelmans. So those of you who kind of follow me online will know that last summer I sold hundreds of pounds worth of uniforms to a Hollywood costumer who was getting ready for a Steven Spielberg movie. And in that Steven Spielberg movie that's coming out this Thanksgiving, all the scouts in that scene in the movie will be wearing this style of classic neckerchief. And I know that because I literally sent her dozens and dozens and dozens of these. And I did see a picture online. If you go to IMB and you search the Fabelmans, you'll see at least one picture, I haven't looked recently, where there's a picture of an actor with that neckerchief on. So that's kind of cool because those neckerchiefs are really everywhere. So I'll show you this guy. So this would be the hat for explorers. But the interesting thing here is, again, if you look right here, this is the CAW, the C-A-W, Compass Anchor Wings. It's kind of this combined logo they came up with to show the idea that explorers was kind of all of these put together. Sea explorers, air explorers, and just regular explorer scouts. And so that dark green hat. This dark green hat probably doesn't really belong to this this uniform in the sense that the colors clash, but what are you going to do? Another hat here, and this nice cotton shirt. It's got a second-class patch on it. I'm not sure if that's how far this guy got. He definitely didn't get eagle or anything like that. And then also this pair of pants, which, by the way, once again, all of the ones we sourced for the Fabelmans all have this red piping. They really like that style. So, all right, here's the Air Scout, or I say Air Scout, Air Explorer stuff. So here's the book. It's really interesting to go in and read this. You can kind of understand how the whole advancement program was set up. Essentially, Air Explorers, from what I understand, lasted until about 1965. And when it started around 1958, they were going to an advancement program where you had to earn rating strips. Now, if I flip through this book, I don't know if it's in the front or the back. Actually, right here in the back. I don't want to crack the spine too much, but right here you can see there's something called rating strips. And I believe, I'm just going to say there was 9. I could be wrong. Someone can correct me in the comments. These rating strips were things that you had to earn. And depending on how many rating strips you earned, that would then move you up the ranks from bronze to gold to silver. That was the highest award in the Explorer program. I actually had someone recently on eBay trying to get into a little bit of an argument with me about Air Scouts and whether or not they earned the silver award and the Air Explorers. And so, you know, I told him that Air Explorer, what it was I had in my title that you could earn it up to, that was available up to 1965. And he was kind of giving me a hard time saying that wasn't true. But, you know, if you look here, and again, hard to kind of crack this open, but the Air Explorers earned the Silver Award. That was the advancement program for them. They did not earn Air Scout Ace. That had been retired. And so, you know, in this program lasted until 1965. Now, I could be wrong about that, but that's what my memory is. And so, yeah, I think that Air Explorers could earn the Silver Award up to 1965. I don't know how many of them did. And you can kind of see this nice little page here that kind of explains how, you know, this is what the Boy Scout version of it is. And then this is the what the Explorer version was. And it shows the rating strip. So again, if you earned 4 rating strips, and there probably was some other things you had to do project-wise or leadership-wise, but that's how you would earn the Explorer Silver Award. So that's a nice book. It's actually in really good shape. And then the pants here, you don't see these very often. In fact, I have a uniform now, an Air Explorer uniform in my collection. I don't know that I have the pants to go with it, and so that is really pretty cool. Let me just check and see if it's got some official BSA logo in it. You know, I don't know if they just sourced these from somewhere, but I mean the color is spot on. So I don't necessarily see a BSA logo. Actually, it's pretty faded, but there is kind of a faded BSA logo right there. So we got the pants, which is cool. The tie, I don't honestly know if this tie goes with that. A purple tie, it doesn't seem like it would. In fact, I don't remember there being a purple tie. The size of this tie is kind of right for that era. They had brown ties and green ties. I don't know if someone tried to maybe dye this one. I don't know. But anywho, this is the real coup for me is getting the Air Explorer uniform. And so again, the town is Wildorado, Texas, and it would have been Squadron 85. This scout earned his first class rank. Now, typically, you would have earned, BSA ranks in a BSA troop, and then when you joined an Explorer post, whether it be the regular Explorers or Air Explorers, you could continue to work on merit badges and earn your Eagle as an Explorer, or you also could have done the advancement program for your Explorers, whether it was Sea Scout or Sea Explorers, Air Explorers, what have you. So you can see this guy was a member of Palo Duro Lodge 46. The camp here is camp, gosh, that's hard to read. That's some Indian word I can't read. Somebody in the comments can tell us what that is because you'll recognize it, and has his arrow dangle here. So, and then has one little sad merit badge on the cuff there, which is weather merit badge. So, he said in his message to me that he was not an Air Explorer for very long, that the post or the squadron did not last. But to me, it's very, very cool to get an Air Explorer uniform. These are not easy to find because there were so few scouts that ever participated in the program. And then seeing as, you do the math, Air Explorers ended like 60 something years ago, 70 years ago. Not a lot of these uniforms survive. So that was really cool. Like I said, I already have, I think, one Air Explorer uniform in my collection, but to get one again, it's just super cool. Even if you go to a traderie, probably any trader you go to in America today, if you went to one this weekend, nobody's going to have an Air Explorer uniform there. They're very, very hard to find. Not many of them around. They're in collections, but I never see them really available. People just don't have them out. So I think it was a really cool thing for this guy to reach out to me. His name was Charlie. I really appreciate it, Charlie. I don't know that you'll ever watch this video, but I'm very excited to get this uniform and the other things that you sent me, and I appreciate it. And I just wanted to share with everybody who sort of follows me on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and just kind of let them see too the cool stuff that you have when you were a scout. So that's it for everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks very much, Jason Spengler, the Santee Swapper.